we are. So I can hit record from here, and I can monitor the...
There's recording right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm not taking the big camera to Madison.
Good.
So I'll work on my composition, my photo composition, instead of relying on the big lens. So I'll take this little guy. I'm going to give the GoPro another chance. Maybe some peer pressure will happen. So I expect behaving a little better.
You know, we can bring the extra phones.
Yeah.
Can always do that. Those are great for recording.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
If I can get the stuff off of them. Half the time, that's the problem.
no, I'll be there. So
It'll work fine.
all I have to do is plug it into my computer. It's the weak link is you have a Chromebook.
No, it's not.
It is too.
Stop it. Why do you say that?
Because you can't get them off the phone because you connect it to your Chromebook and there's no storage on it, right?
Yeah, there's storage on it. I even have a SD card I could save to.
Okay, whatever.
All the things.
We'll figure it out.
My Chromebook is a baller, bro.
Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Executive Director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Deputy Director Andrew Bauman. Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier. Today is the election primaries.
Hello, Robert Fulmer.
Wow.
How are you this fine day?
What's going on, Andrew?
Welcome to primaries in Arizona, July 29th, Tuesday.
Right.
Big election day. Elections where you can choose between one or another, or maybe just one, or maybe zero candidates.
Yeah, it's the primary. There's only a couple of things in my district that are up for contention, probably the same in others. But there are some big primaries on the Republican side. There are 9,000 people running for U.S. District 1.
Yes.
And they're all endorsed by Donald J. Trump.
Wow.
All of them. Every
Neat.
one of them. He's covering all the bases. That's what I hear.
Yes.
No, just two of them.
I mean, if you throw your hat in, you get a recommendation.
So,
my friend Cecily is on the on my ballot. I got to vote for her today, but I think it's a nonpartisan election, though.
for a school board or something like that?
No, it's for the city council.
Technically the mayor isn't supposed to even be a partisan race. So
Yeah, I think it's nonpartisan. So it has all 11 candidates, and you're supposed to vote for 3 that are supposed to get on the ballot, apparently. Something like that. Is that how, do they do that in primaries? Take all the nonpartisans and you just vote for 3?
it depends. The cities can latch on to one of these other election time periods, and they tend to try to do the ones that are most popular. I don't know. Maybe is it 11 to get to 5 or something like
Right,
that?
that's my guess.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Your town might be weird.
If you're in Arizona. Click here for one special trick about city council elections.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, that's going on today,
Yeah.
which is a pretty low stakes situation in most cases.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
We
we'll
got
find
the
out the
U.S.
results.
Senator coming up, though. Is it going to be Carrie Lake? Or is it going to be
Ruben
one of the other
Gallego?
guys? No.
Oh, you're talking about just the
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, Lamb or
Man,
Lake.
he's so out.
I'm not going to make any predictions.
Oh, I will. I mean, there's no downside to making a prediction, man.
I don't know. Sometimes being right is wrong.
That's some deep stuff, man. All right.
I'm getting texts from Justin Heminger from Ohio. the deputy director of Ohio. Your counterpart, your peer, your one-to-one peer.
Also a big fan of Milwaukee Brewers.
Right. He is in town, and he's had some sort of...
He's on a sabbatical of sorts.
Right. He's going to all the baseball games, but due to a scheduling conflict, he's got to cancel today.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Yeah.
He scheduled something poorly.
No. We'll get into it. I'm not going to... What's the easier thing to believe? Yes, they sold out a Tuesday.
They sold out a game.
In the hot.
Shucks.
No. Anyway, we were gonna meet him, but
it's
that's
not
gonna
happening.
happen. Maybe we'll get him on the phone. Maybe not. I don't want to discuss too much without talking to him first. But so close, but yet so far away. We were gonna meet him. So if you hear a bunch of bloops and bleeps, that's our phones going off because we're in the middle of discussing that with him. But I bring the unstructured Rob lifestyle to this. I have one thing to talk about, but what do you got going on?
It was so amazing that you got to go on a little trip. But yeah, let's talk about my nothing that I did this weekend. Oh, Saturday was doing stuff at home. Mm-hmm. Sunday we left the house. Well, first I made a delicious breakfast. Then went to see my aunt. Mm-hmm. She's back at home now. Then we went to have pedicures. That was so nice. I don't know why I don't do that every week.
Yeah. Would having a beer there make it even better?
Yes.
Some salons can, do that. Most of the time it's not legal. They have to get a license, believe it or not, just like everything else.
Yeah, and there's no special license for someone that's just giving away beer to customers because obviously that could be gamed.
Yeah.
But I could bring my own technically, right? It might be against their policy, but it wouldn't be against the law.
I think as a business, it's just like you have to get the
license or nada.
It's not a license. Remember, it's the.
Oh yes, we are not selling beer.
Yeah,
registration of some sort.
Yeah, what is that called?
Forgot about that. Non-service premise or something like that.
There's a technical name, and then there's the colloquial name. I don't remember even what that is.
No. But if you're a business and people are going to be consuming alcohol that you did not serve,
right,
then you get you just sign up for on a list, right?
You have to you have to register with the state. And I don't know if they, I don't know if it goes through the same scrutiny as, we had Craig Miller on a long time ago who explained why there's a law. It was essentially because of strip clubs.
Right.
And, so any business, if you have alcohol consumed on the premise, you have to go through that process. You either have to get a license or you have to get on the
will not sell list. It's
right.
like the do not fly, but
what are the corkage fee? Where you pay a corkage fee, that kind of place.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just gonna bring it in a hydro flask, and no one will know nothing. It'll be fine.
There you go.
But I didn't this time.
If you're watching the video, this is the device we're talking about.
I got a nice...
Pretend to burn your lips on it when you're, it's still too hot. And then just guzzle the next thing.
I got glitter red toenails. And they are fabulous.
Yeah.
I got them because after that we went to the new Deadpool Wolverine movie.
Which was garbage, you said.
There's lots of explosions and excitement.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
It was, I don't know what they were trying to do, but it was there. And it was, I mean, it's fun if you're in a certain place. Like, I'm here for trash. Let's put it on the screen. Yeah. But the beer value here is we were at Look Theater in downtown Chandler where they have in-seat service and like 20 taps. It was Sunday at 2:00, and unfortunately, they had sold out of all Arizona beers. They had 4. They were all gone, and you could get some great other beers. Lagunitas IPA was available. Great Divide had what I had was Tangerine Riot. It's a rye IPA with tangerine flavors,
right?
And it was perfect for this Deadpool movie.
So they pulled the brewery out of there. They didn't have any of those beers left?
They do not have any of those beers.
So do you think they were sold out, or they're just not used to ordering a lot of beer that isn't already there?
Well,
or is this part of the distributors cutting back on deliveries and people just not knowing you have to get on the stick and order early? Because there's no
there's no hot shots. There's no Saturday will calls like back in the day. I would say that they had, of their 8 screens, they had this on 7 screens.
Mm-hmm.
This movie did $487 million worldwide in its opening 3 days. So I'm going to go with there was unexpected demand, perhaps. The GM there now was not there when it was an operating brewery, so he doesn't really have that
right
history of, I forget. But he is also new to Arizona, so maybe there are some quirks with the system here that he's not used to either. So
right.
couldn't say why they were out, but they were out.
I'm glad that you were able to get a beer.
Thank you,
because
sir.
there's be nothing worse. Because I've been to movie theaters most of my life and never had to have a beer unless I snuck it in,
Right.
which did happen
Right.
at some point in my
Or
history.
Fireball in the front row when you're watching Bill and Ted's
But
Excellent Adventures.
when you
I
think
know.
you can get a beer and then you can't get a beer, that has got to be the worst feeling. And then you're like, oh, this is like for 3 hours or 2.5 hours or something. Yeah, that's no good.
We didn't have to go through that.
Yeah, good. That's what you did this weekend?
I did do that. I burned my hand, and
How much were the tickets?
I don't know, like $10.
$10, really? I keep hearing stories about people going, I took of course, when you have the family movie, you got a bonus multiplier of every kid, right?
Right.
It's like, I went to the movie theater and it was like $280. I'm like,
Nah,
what?
I think it was like $21 for both of our tickets together.
Okay, so I don't know what people are doing. Are they door dashing their tickets to their house or something? Paying that extra fee?
I think Look has
They probably
they have a bit lower pricing because they put more on that food and beverage part, and they also do not have the highest technical facility that you're watching it in. They don't have like the super awesome sound systems. They don't even have a theater that's
still
like
get to hear
set
that
up like
THX sound though.
No,
Or whatever it is.
no,
No.
no Dolby.
I feel like I feel like if I went, I would be disappointed. Oh, the Dolby has a different noise.
Yes, correct. None of that. It was just, hey, welcome to the theater.
Boom,
Show some
go.
things and boom, make sure your cell phones are on silent. Still say that these days. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. What if we had a guild sound every time you went to a guild location? It just made a noise.
Glug, 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 glug. The seats there are very nice.
Yeah.
Nice, very plush. Got the table in front of you to put your food on.
Right.
Yeah, it was good.
I wish I had some time to carve out for me to go to a movie, but I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of
Seems
variety out there anymore.
No, we don't go to movies that
Marvel
often.
or
Yeah.
and I didn't, I saw Barbie and Oppenheimer on the plane. Was that a whole year ago? Almost.
The
a long time ago.
2024 winner of the Best Picture for the Academy Awards was Oppenheimer. So that was 2023. Those were the big summer smashes last year, right?
Is there one this year?
I think it's the one that I just saw.
Okay.
I don't think anyone's gonna.
I'm gonna wait another year.
That's the 6th highest opening weekend in history.
This,
of
by the
movies.
way, is like the second summer movie extravaganza that we've done. We've talked about the movies, and I don't even remember when that was. That was with Ken.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's be done with that. There's not a lot of beer value there. I tried milking some out, but
No.
tell us about your weekend. Rob.
I went to California. I went to Santa Rosa in particular for a day, and then I went to a small town in Marin County called Bolinas. I know it sounds like an affliction, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I had an
definitely. I don't want to
inflamed,
get that.
acute Bolinas
Did you use
In my
a
placentia.
balm or something?
in my placentia, my placentia. They have California names are
Placentia,
like
California.
yeah, it's like right in
And
my
Bolinas.
right in my right in the Bolinas, man.
Oh God.
It's just a small town. It's a very I don't know if I talked about my I did mention I was going. I might have identified where I was staying with somebody who was in movie pictures. That was wrong. That was the wrong aunt. Completely different aunt. This is somebody who was a political consultant many, many, many years ago. So, Bay Area. So, and it's a small town. So I don't want to say too much.
Oh
about
boy,
it.
yeah. Don't want to out your aunt.
It's not my aunt, but
Okay.
she's somebody else's aunt.
Great.
Yes, I think based on her age and my age, she would find me calling her an aunt. Sort of,
Odd.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we went with another couple and stayed. But I got to have a beer at the OSO terminal, B terminal location, or whatever it is. OSO.
Oh, also at Phoenix
Yeah.
at Phoenix Airport.
Yeah, and there's a store, I don't remember which store, that has 5 or 6 Arizona beers on the warm shelf. So
On the other side of security?
yeah, yeah,
What?
Yeah, right by the OSO. So in B terminal, yeah,
Oh, son of a gun. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
they had a couple Santan offerings, a couple Dragoon offerings, Mud Sharks. So this is clearly, I think it seems to be very exclusively Crescent Crown.
Mm-hmm.
It might have had some other one there, but they might have had Barrio. I don't know. I unfortunately, I'm looking at my pictures, and I think I only took pictures of. There's some Pringles. I only took pictures of the dates, and I didn't even look at them because I wanted to see, like, is this stuff moving or not, But they had Dragoon IPA and Dragoon Santa
Flores. Oh,
Santa Cruz, and I think they had Mud Shark, Blueberry, Big Blue Van. No, I'm sorry. Oh wow, that's a faux pas. That was College Street, not Mud Shark.
oh. Well, we were talking about Mud Shark earlier, so I can
Yeah.
see why you're
Yeah.
a little.
But anyway, had a beer at Oso. All those brewery places are subcontracted
Right.
with HMS Host or whoever.
Aramark, Sodexo, whoever it is.
Right. This is not the big one was HMS Host, but this is a smaller one. I don't remember who Oso used, but I talked to the guy.
They don't get to choose.
I think they do.
I think there's one vendor for the.
No, there's not.
All right. This is
Because
beautiful.
I've talked to the Pedal House uses a different one. There are people who are in that game and they make bids,
For sure.
so they get in and
they
they
get
pick.
that space.
They pick usually in advance as part of their pitch to bring those in. So, so Pedal House, their location is because of that.
Cool.
I think there's a general contract, and I think there's ways for these other ones to get in. So, anyway, the guy who was serving, his name is Jeff, and he told me all about the U.S. Open wins, and I shared that with the OSO team, and they were very excited. Like, no way, really? Like, yeah, they know people follow.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I thought I'd mention that. Yeah, so we flew to Santa Rosa. So when right as I got this job, I used to go there right after Real Wild and Woody. Like literally, we would go to Santa Rosa, and we moved that day. We used to go for our wedding anniversary. We'd go there for 2 reasons. We would go there for beer, and we would go there for wine. We found a winery that we liked, a couple wineries, and so one of the winery is Vincent Arroyo. We didn't get to go this time, but Vincent Arroyo has their open house, so we were following their open house. So they open up, serve library wines, and because we get wine shipped to us from that winery because of that association, they would serve this giant paella, like I don't know how big. The pan must have been 10 feet diameter. So
Wow.
like this giant paella.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I
Build a pit with some fire in it and
yeah.
paella the heck out of it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'd do that, and then we'd also go to Russian River.
Sure.
We've also gone there, and years ago when I went to the Beer Business Daily conference, I met Brian Hunt from Moonlight Brewing Company. Very small brewery, very important brewery. He's mentioned in the Michael Jackson movie. He's got a beer. It's a dark lager called Death and Taxes. And he was purchased with by Lagunitas
Huh.
at one point, and then Lagunitas got purchased by Heineken, and then I didn't get a chance to connect with Brian this time around. But Patrick Rue from the brewery now has an ownership stake in this
Moonlight?
brewery. Yeah, Moonlight. So hopefully next time we'll get a chance to go there. And there's 4 or 5 other breweries there now that are of note. And I just didn't. When you go to a restaurant, you're like expecting sort of an insipid mix of beers. And there's a brewery there, I think, called Hen House, and they had an oyster stout, and I really wanted to get to that beer. I just never got around to it. 'Cause there's a lot of oysters in that part of the world, which I don't think you're supposed to eat this time of year, are you? Isn't it the R? You're only supposed to eat oysters with the R in the month? Or those kinds of seafoods? You don't know about this?
No.
Yeah, because it's too warm, right? But because it's bay and it's cold, I don't know. The ocean temperature in Bay Area is much cooler than the rest of.
Yeah.
I'd have to look that
I
up.
mean, isn't everything warming up though? So maybe you have to expand that.
I didn't
letter
die,
R thing.
so we got that going. For us.
Auguster,
We did eat.
Julyer, May.
Yeah. So
Huh. I don't
September,
know.
October, November, December, January, February, March, April.
And then no more oysters.
That's what I heard. I
Okay.
don't know. I
I
didn't
don't-
think about it.
I don't run in seafood circles.
Oh yeah. So we would we went to Russian River. We ended up going to both places, in fact, many times because of our flight situation, but on the way back. But we stayed out near Windsor. So we went to the Windsor location. Had an opportunity to take a tour, but just, like, why? So we just had a couple of beers there. And I was
And you
like,
brought a couple back for me. Thank
yeah,
you.
I did. Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
maybe we'll even drink one on the show here, but, cause that's going to thrill everybody who's listening that for us to drink a beer on the,
It's not a beer podcast.
well, I am drinking a German Pilsner from Fate. This is part of the 4-pack that you might have heard us drinking last week.
And I have false promises with cross fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we went to the larger production facility that has this nice outdoor area. If you're like into bags and all those kinds of sports, and they have a place for your dog if you have a dog, and they have a gift store. That's where we bought some of that stuff, and they have a lot of things. They are now pouring Pliny for President. I think we drank the entire board only because we were there on our way out because of our plane delay for a long time. But we decided that night to go to the brew pub. The brew pub is got this. There's no difference in the beer selection per se. I don't think it's pretty much the same. But there's a lot of Breweriana in historical beer things they've managed to collect, and I just kind of focused in on the fact that they had the New Albion sign, and they had a bunch of New Albion things. That was one of the, when people talk about Fritz Maytag and Sierra Nevada, they really should include Jack McAuliffe and New Albion, because he was a guy that was probably closer to a lot of our breweries' hearts, because he was the smallest of the small, and sort of proved that it could be done, but he just didn't have the capital. And I noticed that their shirt was signed by Jack McAuliffe, and I actually I
Very cool.
Tweeted to his daughter, like, hey, I've been going here for a long time, but I noticed it's a woman's cut shirt. She's like, oh yeah, all of his business partners were women. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So it's just like you see all kinds of stuff on the wall, and I just happen to knock on the right door to find the next piece of information. So
That's very cool.
so we whenever we go there, I always kind of goof on Russian River a little bit, like in a nice way. Like this time, I was just like, hey, had Pliny for president on one picture, and next to it, I had Pliny the Elder. I'm like, I did some checking. Turns out Pliny doesn't even work here. I don't think anyone read that. But do you remember the IPA glasses that were designed with Sam Calgione, and Ken Grossman and Vinny Cerluzzo. They had this weird shaped. A lot of people think it looked like a butt plug, but it was designed to capture the aroma of the IPA. Had a very narrow base, and it kind of bulbed out. And, was
And then
kinda,
it's still narrow at the top, though.
yeah. So
Those glasses kind of rocked.
yeah, so like years ago when I went there, I took a picture of the classic pizza shaker, you know, with the peppers and the cheese, and I said, this glassware cost $1 million, and it's designed to cause friction, so the aroma explodes out of.
The pepper shaker.
And then one other time they had on the menu talked about like the different kinds of, you got yeast, Brettanomyces, pediococcus. I said, oh, look, you can sprinkle your own pediococcus. So they got the thing right there. They got the shakers. I don't know. I hope they take it in stride. I tried to contact, I need to get back to them. I tried to contact Electric Brewing. I said, hey, do you still hear from Dave Harvin? And they replied, and at that point I was in, if you go to parts of California, it is the worst cell phone service in America. And so I never responded. I just wanted, in case I ran into, because they always ask, like, hey, have you heard from Dave Harvin? I'm like, no, I haven't really. But I would like to connect Vinny and Natalie with Dave Harvin. The reason they ask, do you know the reason why they ask?
Because that's where he got his brewing system from them, right?
Vice versa.
Yeah.
They got, Russian River purchased a system from Dave Harvin.
Right.
Yeah. Who started electric brewing companies years ago, and who has a very, I'd like to just get with him, because all those stories, you know, about the old days and
The wild times.
yeah, and we probably, I know you're itching to get down there because of the new brewery down there, and we just haven't been in that part of the last time.
Yeah.
We didn't make it. We made it as far as Sonoyta, and we really didn't get down that way. And we made it. No, we made it to Wilcox. Did we not make it to Wilcox?
We
didn't go together,
got
no.
to Tombstone.
Oh, and then we went to Mexico.
We went to Mexico, and then we stayed in Tombstone, then we headed home. I did broach that subject Saturday. I said, hey, babe, you want to take a little trip down to Bisbee? And she was like, what? I was like, I just owe him a visit. I haven't been there in a couple years. I just need to get down there. And she's like, well, how far? And I said, it's like 5 hours. And she's like, 10 hours round trip overnight. Yeah. And I was like, well, I was lying anyways. It's really like 7 hours. So she's in, but it has to be an overnight trip. No 1 day trip to Bisbee and back.
Oh no, maybe 2 days. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny. We were there, and somebody rolled up next to us, and like, it's just funny, like, because the reason I kind of poke fun is like, look, the beer is good, but like, I've had a lot of their beers are like, if you serve this to me anywhere in the United States, I'd be like, this is pretty good. What is it? I wouldn't know that it's, you know, that it's just, you know, this brewery, and like plenty at this point is that way. Like, you know, there's a lot of good beers out there.
When it started, it was revolutionary and crazy time.
Right. And that's not to say it's bad.
It's like Dogfish Head 60 Minute.
Right.
When it started, it was crazy town.
Right.
But now it's pretty beery.
So, and I don't know, you know, it was fashionable for people to say, oh, Blind Pig is better. Whatever. It's a pale ale. So at this point, people would say that because like, oh yeah, Pliny's good, but it's kind of out of balance. I'm like, it's really not out of balance anymore. And it's not this, you know, they used to say it's a threshold breaking beer.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore.
Well, I mean, the beer industry has really moved.
Sure. But I'm not out there drinking only extreme beers anymore.
Yeah, correct.
So I don't know that if you can count that sort of muscle memory. Anyway, this lady rolls up and she orders.
This beer is crazy compared to the beers that were around 15 years ago.
Sure.
This beer is bonkers, and it's a lightly hopped, hazy IPA.
All I'm saying is there's a woman that came up and just kind of reminded me of this. because she rolls up and has a rosé and has pizza, and that's it. You know, and she brought her little stuffed animal and put it on the bar, and like, you know, I expected her to pull out a bingo card with her marker, right? Which, by the way, you know, we've been to breweries that do that now.
That's
so
okay.
it's-
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So all I'm saying is I don't
Single
know.
bingo.
No, just regular bingo even.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went to Bolinas. It's a small town. There's one bar, one restaurant, no cell service. Apparently in the 50s, 40s, if you bought a magazine subscription, they gave you a parcel of land. Like, that's how crazy this is. And a lot of countercultural hippie peoples in the 60s came there to save a bunch of birds, and a lot of them didn't leave. And now it's a mix of that. And this is almost a lot of California. Mix of that, and then, you know, tech bros.
Tech bros.
Trying to buy in and...
Get any land you can.
Right. So we stayed in this 1920s house that was built on this hillside across the street from access to the ocean. There's no other houses in front of it. So like they had been there since the 70s, and this house and the family that lived there. And I mentioned the woman is a political operative and worked for a lot of different people, and amassed this collection of wine by accident and was storing them in the garage under the house, but it's more of a motorcycle garage. In fact, they did have a Harley for a while. And she told a story about that, which involved the Hells Angels and how she got her motorcycle back because she just asked nicely.
Wow.
More or less.
Okay.
Anyway, we were just pulling bottles out of there, and
Cool.
where is it? I posted it, and people were like, "No way!" I don't know. It was here it is. It was a 1985 Chateau Latour,
No way. I don't know.
which I don't know if you were to have. I mean, I don't know. The price on a bottle is between $800 to $2,000, depending on the circumstance.
I mean, depends on if the winery storage place went out of business and it's just fire sailing all of their customers' wine.
Well, no, I mean, if it's in a restaurant, obviously you're going to pay more. I don't know. We had some other wines that actually we bought from Justin, a winery in Justin, that had a lot more flavor to them. The flavors are muted on it, and maybe that's what people are looking for. And I said, this is really unfair. We had these other wines, and we have this one, and you know, you obviously attach some expectations. And the cork was good. We decanted it for an hour like we're supposed to. It was just different, and I was like explaining how we do this in the beer industry, but flavors do fall off a lot more, and there's a sweet spot, but mostly it's just bunk, you know. Just drink it when you buy it for the most part, because beer is different. Beer's for fragile, and I said it's really not fair. But people who enjoy that winery or those varietals or French wines in particular, or from that era, are going to be super interested in it, whether they feel like they're the best tasting and best money. I mean, they're gonna want to drink it just
For the history of it.
to pull their palate together, right?
Yeah.
In the same way that I feel disconnected from my Pliny experience, as it was just like, you know, this flavor burst, and you know, like it's kind of like just a ritual to buy it now.
Sure, I guess if you live in California.
Huh?
If you live in California, I mean, not here, but sure.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if
It's a beer.
yeah. I'm trying to just
it was that beer when
demystify
there were only like 100 breweries in California,
right.
and now there's 2,000.
And this is going to be super obvious to people, but like I'm going to enjoy those beers, because we actually did bring some back. When I'm going to either enjoy them for people who've never had it, or people who can share memories about it and talk about it, right? But I'm going to enjoy it way more at at the brewery, and I probably only, I mean, if we're using, there are other reference beers there. There's Consecration, Beatification. Yeah. I mean,
Oh, the days.
right. But
going to
like,
Homebrew Con and
Yeah.
San Diego and
but it was only, I think I only had maybe the equivalent of 2 Pliny's over like 4 days.
oh yeah, but I mean just
And
searching for beatification, consecration, and
well-
going to Santee and finding the little
Yeah.
store that has all of it and
Well, so we went to this concert too, and they had Pliny there. They had Pliny at the airport and STS pills.
nice.
And a
love that.
and a charcuterie vending machine.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, so we went
This
there.
has been the California Wine Frontier.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to get to a point on it. We just had some relaxing time. It's always like 65 degrees, fog rolling in, fog rolling out. So like those wines, even though I said that where they were stored, they're going to be fine. I mean, they're great. It was a very California experience, let me tell you. Like, cause it's like the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. Like you go there, like, oh, let's just have a snack, and like all of a sudden, like 75 cheeses come out, and you know what I mean? Like, oh, I bought this at this place, I got this. I'm like, oh, you went to Trader Joe's too. I could see that, but like, right? It's oysters everywhere. So
I don't know how that works. No, that's confusing.
We
to
driving
me.
down the street, people are eating oysters
and
outside.
they have a little oyster stand in the
Yeah.
driveway.
Well, just in the middle of nowhere.
This is new to me.
Sounds
exciting.
It would be like people got excited and sat at outdoor roadside tables to eat Indian fry bread. I mean, that would be fucking cool, would it not? Like, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, pick what's another?
Sonoran dogs.
Yeah.
But people do that.
Yeah, but not, I don't know, not with beer and wine. And that's next on the agenda.
Did they all wear
gotta
fancy
find-
hats and have little tiny dogs too?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to get
did
there
have
with you,
We
man.
did have a tiny dog with us, but it wasn't. So we went to a place down the road, maybe 30 minutes, at this little ranch, and we saw Paul Thorne, and I didn't know who he was, but people do, and like they had in this little town, 1,000 people there. You could get Pliny, you could have.
Can you
wine.
tell me who Paul Thorne is?
He's like a Mississippi. He's a storyteller, blues guy, but and he's entertaining, very entertaining.
He's a musician.
He's a musician. Yeah.
Okay.
He plays blues,
Cool.
but in a very storytelling. And he's got the accent where he talks like this, and he tells a story about you woman and how you need to take care of your woman because everybody got to love each other. Y'all got to go to church. Y'all got what he's got that
Sure.
affectation.
Cool.
That obviously, and he's like, hey, I guess if somebody has a birthday, it's their 21st birthday. Tell your friends because you look around, man. These people they're dying on us, right? 'Cause there's all these people. Like I got a picture. Like look at that. See that?
Yeah.
Look at how much gray hair is in this audience. Yeah. So we were in Nicasio, California.
That's fun. And was that a surprise or a plan?
It was a plan. We also saw
Cool.
some. So back in Bolinas, there was a town. I mean, both the restaurant had pretty good beer, and the one bar, it's called Smiley's. I guess I was told it was the oldest continuously owned bar in California, but I don't have a way of knowing that without. I guess I could look it up, but we saw 2 bands from Los Angeles that came up, and the whole thing is they come up, they stay in the hotel above the bar. It's very small town community vibey thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
I posted a picture. I found a
I
payphone.
can imagine this happening in Patagonia.
Yeah. It's just hard to really find an analog because anything in Metro Phoenix is going to be subsumed by, like if there were like I don't know, 10 more businesses in Tortilla Flat, maybe that kind of size-ish. I don't know. Tom McCormick, the former director, I posted a picture of me. I found a payphone, an actual working payphone. And he's like, "That's the most blinest thing I've ever seen." And I said, "Hey, it was the clearest connection to the outside world ever. I could have called anybody." But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to. I mean, the beer value is just the value of the community, and like, didn't see anyone drinking a lot of Bud Light, some Coronas and that other stuff, but they were buying, albeit Lagunitas, which still has a name brand there, right? Because Petaluma is right down the road.
Any Stone?
No Stone. Wait. They did have a Stone lime. Can't remember the name of that one. I had a Bohemian Pills from someplace nearby. I don't know. It was good. It was good. But yeah, we had some wine and.
Did you get delayed? Like, what happened?
So yeah, on the way back, our flight was delayed, so we went and hung out at Russian River like almost for hours because we were waiting to see if they were gonna reaccommodate, cancel. We considered driving to Oakland and flying out of Oakland, and so like we double clutched that, so we didn't get back till really super late. But in the airport, like I said, in Santa Rosa, they had a vending machine with all charcuterie. And they had a bar. And it was lame because like they had all these foods and vending machines, and this was obviously the highest end. They had a thing for baby supplies, and they had this.
What?
They had this plushie, the Woodstock plushie, but next to Robitussin. I'm like, so like if you wanted to have Robitussin, you could have made your own purple drink, I guess.
They just really leaned all the way in on vending machines.
But the bar, like it was like seats, and like there was no room to like hang out at the bar, and you couldn't walk. I mean, this is like a tiny airport. Like, come on, man! Like, give these guys. I mean, at least extend it to the vending area and a couple tables, and so we didn't eat there. I should just not talk. I mean, it's the Charles M. Schultz Airport, so there's a
giant Snoopy.
There's giant Snoopy, him flying and chasing the Red Baron in his doghouse hanging from the ceiling. I don't think I have a picture of that, but yeah, that was the weekend, man. And I don't know. Did I add beer value? Russian River, I guess.
Seems good.
I don't know. I was hoping that maybe we could we would have something to talk about with the baseball game, but I don't know. Maybe we should wrap this up. Maybe we can get Justin on the phone. Maybe not. I don't know.
All right.
So we'll either wrap this up or
there'll be more. One or the other.
Right on. That's it.
Oh, what did I have?
Oh,
yeah.
you have things. Okay. Sorry.
Thursday is IPA Day. August 1st. Mm-hmm. Friday is International Beer Day. First Friday of August.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is very exciting things.
Right.
That's all.
It's funny because I mentioned Twitter. Do you remember the whole International or IPA Day thing? Why that was all? That was like a total Twitter fabrication.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you remember
Ashley?
Yeah, Ashley.
Yeah.
Do you remember her?
Yeah.
She's no longer in the industry. She no longer drinks. She's out getting very healthy, doing some rock climbing, and she seems much happier. She left the industry, but she started it, and I kind of goofed on it a lot. I was like, and especially because it was so close to
National Beer Day.
Yeah.
International Beer Day.
And like, I'm like, they tried with stout, which I think still,
yeah. International Stout Day still kicks around a little bit.
Yeah. Just like, well, if IPA gets a day, then English Mile gets a half an hour.
Only really early in the morning, though.
Yeah. No, it was like, all right, well, I guess back then I didn't understand. Like, well, anything you do to talk about beer, but why pick the style that they picked? I don't know.
Next week,
Yes.
we're going to be on the road.
Yeah, we are. We're going to be in Madison. I'm going early because I have a friend that opened a brewery in central Wisconsin, so I'm leaving sooner than you are. But we'll have a car.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like walking, though.
Well, I mean,
Oh, we could go to New Glarus, where I've never been.
maybe.
And I've been told, like, you have to get there. I don't know, man.
It is a nice place.
We do have Belter Glassware is
Sponsored.
putting on a welcome event for us on Wednesday. That's kind.
The Great Dane Pub. There was a place that we used to go to also, the Ale Asylum, but it's just no longer around. Or it might have got purchased again. I don't know.
it did.
The brands did. I don't know if the location's still there.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll get the scoop from Mark Garthwaite, who was the former director of the Wisconsin Brewers Guild, and also assists with the festival, which is Taste of the Midwest, Great Taste of the Midwest.
Yeah, that's true.
He's helping running that. I told him I'd pitch in a little bit, so I'll have something to say about that. I'm going up there, spending the weekend, checking out the brewery in Nakusa, Wisconsin. And I'm told Mark I have some free time, and maybe I'll pick you up from the airport.
Could be.
Maybe that's my one job.
That'd
Pick
be
people up
amazing.
from the airport. Yeah.
Be the shuttle driver. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Now.
So maybe we'll talk with Justin, and maybe this will be the end of the episode.
Maybe.
All right.
If you know the show, you'll know by the music. You'll either hear the beer break music, or you'll hear
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but we should put in the tagline.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is not a beer podcast. It's a podcast about beer.
exactly. And sometimes the beer finds.
Sometimes the Pliny finds you.
Yes. All right. Cool.
That's it.